Subscribe to The Honest Critique for current affairs, movie, book, and product reviews. Also, make sure you press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video. The views, information, or opinions expressed during the video series are solely those of the individuals and do not necessarily represent those of The Honest Critique and its employees. The following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion advised.
Welcome to this episode we're recording, and I have Natalie Sanandaji with me. And she was one of the survivors from the Peace Festival that she was there, and the gruesome Hamas attack took place. So I want to start the conversation by asking you to share your experience of what happened on the night of October 7th. I mean, the morning of October 7th and the night of October 6th, actually. What was happening at the festival? How are things, and how did it turned out to be this gruesome?
Um, well, me and three other friends had arrived at the festival. When we arrived, we were there for a few hours. We decided everyone at the festival had like campsites at the festival because it was a festival that started at night until the morning. And we decided to sleep for a couple hours and wake up in the morning for the sunrise of the festival. So we were woken up by one of our friends at around 6:30, who came to tell us that some rockets had been sent in our direction. I, as an American, I have never experienced something like this. I have never been under fire. But I looked around me to all of the Israeli citizens that I was with, and I saw that for them, this was a form of reality. It was something that they understood that happens a lot. Also, a lot of the kids that I was with had just come out of the army. And I looked around to them and they said, it's okay. We're in an area where this happens sometimes. It can be normal for this area. They were sure it would just be a few rockets and then it would stop and everything would be fine. But obviously, we realized after a little bit that the rockets kept coming. The music at the festival had been shut off, and the security had asked everybody to pack up their things and evacuate to their cars. We went to our car, we picked up our things, went to our car, and they had told us to start driving in a certain direction to safely get out. At the time, we were not as stressed. We know that we have the Iron Dome to protect us. To intercept the rockets. Yes, the scraps from the rockets could have hit our cars, and that was something that we were worried about, and we just wanted to get out safely. Everybody just wanted to get out safely. We started driving in a certain direction to get out, and the security of the event started telling people to drive in another direction. That's when we started to understand that they did not have all the information yet, but they knew that something else was wrong. We started driving in another direction, and there was a lot of people and there was a lot of cars. And eventually the security started yelling at us to get out of our cars and start running on foot. And at first we didn't understand why. And it was because they were saying it was making us an easier target, because there were so many of us in such a confined space. And then that's when we first heard the first gunshots and realized that it wasn't just rockets, that there were terrorists on foot right near us, coming for us. We opened our doors and we just started to run. We ran in total, for us, from my experience with the people that I was with, for about 4 hours. We kept running. And then every once in a while, if we didn't hear gunshots for a little bit, we slowed down to catch our breath. And then as soon as we heard gunshots again, we had to start running for our lives again. One of the scariest things was running in a certain direction and then suddenly seeing dozens of other kids from the festival running in your direction. And then you understand that they're running from terrorists that are shooting at them, and you understand that you're not safe and that you're not running in the right direction and that nobody knows what the right direction is. Every decision we made in regards of where to run, where to hide, were all split-second decisions that either saved our lives or got us killed. And there was no way of knowing which decision was the right decision. You just had to make a decision in that moment. After running for like about 4 hours, me and the 3 people that I had come with to this party, we sat down under a tree to collect ourselves, to get some shade from the sun. We were tired, we were dehydrated, we had no water. A white pickup truck was driving towards us, and at first our first thought was that it was a terrorist coming to either run us over or shoot us. And as he got closer, we saw that there was a girl in his car that had the bracelet from the festival on, and we understood that this was somebody coming to save us. He told us to get in the back of his pickup truck. When we were running, we were told to run to the neighboring town, which was the town of Patish. He was from that town. He was just an amazing person that risked his own life driving from his town where he was safe and driving towards the terrorists and risking his own life to save innocent kids. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I would be here today. And as soon as he dropped us off in his town, he just drove back and risked his life again to save more people. The amount of people that risked their own lives to save us, to save all these innocent children that had nothing to protect themselves, was just incredible to me. I couldn't even understand how these people were so kind and so willing to risk themselves to save everybody else.
I'm sure that a lot of people, you haven't probably seen the visuals live, but I'm sure when you came back home and you saw what's surfacing on the internet about people who were actually brutally killed in the festival, some of them raped, some of them taken hostages. What was going through your mind when you saw that? And have you experienced that in front of your eyes, or you just came back, recollected yourself, and saw that later on your phones?
Throughout running and throughout trying to escape, we did see bloodshed. We did see people who got shot. We did see, obviously, a lot of things that we wish we didn't. And after escaping and after getting home, I have seen a lot of videos, photos of people that were kidnapped, murdered, raped. The thing that goes through your mind is all those decisions you made, all the directions that you ran in. If you had run slightly in another direction, or if you hid instead of running and then they found you, that could have been you. And it's something that's very hard to comprehend as somebody who did make it out. It's very hard to comprehend the fact that that really could have been you. One wrong decision and that could have been you.
And if I may ask you, how was the security actually at the festival? Was there security enough for faster evacuation, or was not? I mean, it was just a normal festival, so probably not the amount of security would have one expected for a terrorist attack of that scale, right?
Listen, nobody saw this coming. Nobody expected this to happen. It was a normal amount of security for a festival. And the security that was there, most of them died saving these children. They did their job to the best of their ability. Also, at first, when everything was happening, all of us were very confused about where the army is, what's happening. And then we heard that there was the cyber attack from Iran on Israel. And that was part of what slowed things down in regards to sending people to come help us. When we were walking for 4 hours, we saw one police officer that came and walked with us. all he had on him was a handgun, and he couldn't even call for help because the terrorists had taken over the police station nearby and taken over the radio of the police station. And on his walkie-talkie, we could hear the terrorists screaming. So he couldn't even call for help. This was so well planned. They came at us from every direction. Every direction we ran in, we saw people running in our direction because they were closing in on us. They couldn't have imagined something like this would happen. But then eventually the soldiers did come, and they keep coming in. They're coming from all over the world to protect our people, and it's just really incredible. And they're doing everything they can.
It's heartbreaking to listen to the stories actually. And as probably as an American and young kids, actually, we haven't much experience of the 9/11, and the incident that happened on October 7th is equated with America's 9/11. As an American who is in Israel celebrating a peace festival, actually is attacked by terrorists, how do you perceive this?
Something that I would like to say is it has been equated to that, and to me it's even, these were innocent children. That's something that a lot of people, a lot of the things that I see online make me so frustrated, because so many people are saying that it was provoked. This wasn't provoked. These are innocent children. These are innocent children that had nothing to protect themselves. These are also a lot of innocent children. A lot of the people that were around me were people that just got out of the army, that have post-traumatic stress disorder, that when the rockets were going off, they started crying because of the things that they've seen in their past. These are all kids. Something people have to realize, that like, I, as an American, this was my first time experiencing this. This is my first time seeing rockets explode over my head. This was my first time being shot at. But all of these other people that I was with, this was not their first time. Every single Israeli has a story of someone they know who's died, someone they know who's been kidnapped. Every single Israeli has a story like this that they have already gone through. This isn't the first time for any of them. And that's the saddest part, is that they have to keep going through this. And something else that I would love to say is, this country is so strong. The amount of people, the amount of Israelis from outside of Israel that are flying back every day to protect their country, the amount of soldiers that finish the army that are re-enlisting to protect their country is just incredible to me. The amount of people I see flying back towards the war to protect their people and to be with their families is something like I've never seen before. And that's why Israel will always be on the map. They will not win. They will not ever defeat us. They will not ever take over, because this is the strongest country, and they will always be there for each other. That the amount of people that are risking their own lives for their country and for their people is incredible.
So before I let you go, it's been a while actually, at least 3-4 days since the incident happened. How were the last 3-4 days have been for you personally? Especially after looking at all those gory visuals unfolding in front of you.
There's definitely things I wish I didn't see, but I feel that people need to see and people need to share in order for people to understand the severity of what is happening. How have the last few days been? As someone who was there but survived, it might be a shock response from my own body, but it's hard for me to comprehend that I was even there. But just seeing what happened to so many of the people that were there, and seeing the videos of kids my age being tortured, being raped, being killed, and not just people from the party. Then there's everybody else, from the army base that was attacked, from all the soldiers that were kidnapped, from the babies that were stolen out of their homes. There's just so much happening, and it's just so overwhelming. And there's just, you wish you could do more, and everybody's doing as much as they can, but nobody saw this coming. this attack, like many people have stated, was the biggest number of Jews killed in one day since the Holocaust. It's going to be a day that's going to be remembered forever. And the only thing I can wish for is that it would be over, but it's not going to be over. That's it.
I can completely understand, and I'm sure it takes a lot of courage to share the story that you're sharing with us. Thank you so much, actually, for taking your time speaking to us, and I'm sure it reaches out to more people to understand the kind of gruesome attack that took place on October 7th. Thank you so much.
Thank you.